Good evening, y'all. It is another Friday night under the lights. Before we go any further, we have to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I did get a haircut, and I think it does look great. Oh, and Dave's here. Dave, how have you been?
I mean, honestly, I don't think anything's different. The only advice I could give you tonight on a Friday, Connor, never bet on the Detroit Lions.
Well, I appreciate your honesty and your loyalty to your team no matter what. But yes, take Dave's advice, everyone. Bet on your team, but at the same time, if they're struggling like them, maybe go the other way. But anyway, Dave, welcome back. And I know you've been itching to see some new Friday Night Lights, right?
I mean, there's been so many good games already this season, and I think we're really seeing those teams that are going to stand out the most. And tonight, those highlights are good.
Yep. All right. So enough talk. Let's cue the highlights. The rain coming down as we have the Copper Bowl between the Hancock Bulldogs and Houghton Gremlins. Bulldogs on offense, and when we were at Boston, he would run the ball down the field for a touchdown, and the Bulldogs strike first in the Copper Bowl, going up 7-0. On the next drive, Houghton driving, but they fumble the football, and the Bulldogs, they are able to recover, and they take possession back once again. Second quarter, same score, and now Shane Aho runs up the middle for another Hancock score. PAT is good, and it is 14-0 Bulldogs. Gremlins, though, they are fighting back as the defense. They're trying to get it back, and it is a tip drill. And Anderson comes up with another INT like he did last week with another long return. But the Bulldogs, they would turn over on this drive, so we're still at 14-0 Bulldogs up. Then the Gremlins came to life, driving all the way to the 1-yard line, and then pounding it in with Zapolin for the Gremlins touchdown. It was a fun Copper Bowl, but the Bulldogs come away with the win, 20-17. Next, we have the Escanaba Eskimos hosting the Kingsford Flivers. Both teams looking to bounce back after losses last week. And the very first play of the game, Michael Managuzzo takes the snap, rolling out to his right, and finds the big tight end, Zach Person, for that huge gain for the Flivers as he gets forced out of bounds. But drive still go on. Flivers, they take another snap, and this time, Brody Kopp takes the screen pass, and he's going to get a nice gain weaving through everyone. But Trent Lawson is able to wrap him up, and Flivers drive stalls, so they go up 3-0 though. Still in the first, Eskimos now on offense, and Bray is going to find Connor Small for the toe tap gain of 9 yards. And then into the second quarter, still the same score, 3-0. And Bray keeps himself for the quarterback sneak, and now Eske takes the lead 7-3. And now under a minute in the first half, Flivers now up by 2. Meneguzzo finds the touchdown machine, Nick Nora. And it was a tight first half, but the Flivers open it up in the second, beating the Eskimos 44-7. And some more 11-man scores for you all as the Iron Mountain Mountaineers get the win over Bark River Harris 28-22, and the Menominee Maroons fall to the Denmark, Wisconsin Vikings 41-7. And Dave, why don't you take these last couple?
Yeah, Blue Devils of Sault Ste. Marie here over the Falcons, Connor, 14-6. They moved to 4-1 in the Legends Conference. A big win for them. Yep. And the Wolves, 26-16 over the St. Ignace Saints. Wolves, 3 wins in their last 4 ball games. Big wins for them.
They are hot.
All right, back under the lights here. We're going to move ahead as Westwood Patriots taking on the Manistee Emeralds. First quarter, Patriots going backwards as the snap gets away, but fortunately for Westwood, Nick Salzwaddell, he's going to be right there. Check this out, Connor. Johnny on the spot, and he's going to jump on this.
Oh,
listen,
nice
that can be a bad thing, but when you got a guy like that, Salzwaddell, he's right there.
To fall down on it.
And Salzwaddell, well, he'd make another appearance here. Perhaps a little extra juice for Nick as he will get the direct snap, break 3 tackles in the A-gap there. Just him and the grass ahead. And, of course, the end zone. Touchdowns, Patriots. They take the early lead at home.
Okay.
Now, Westwood was feeling a little greedy here, Connor, on special teams with the squibber. And somehow, some way, they recover it and start marching yet again.
Some Madden plays. I definitely do those.
That's greedy. Moving ahead here, next drive. Patriots. Marcus Bowes is going to take advantage of that, and he's going to get a keeper, and he'll score on his own. Their Patriots in front at home in front of their faithful fans. The Emeralds, well, they're trying to get on the highlight reel here, and they do. A nice run by Parker Graffos, who cuts it outside, and he's brought down pretty violently there. Downpouring, but the Patriots don't care. They just want more offense. They're going to feed it to Nick Salzwaddell again for the score. Patriots win at home. Impressive fashion, Connor. They're 4-1 on the season. Calumet Copper Kings taking on the Gwynn Model Town in his first quarter. Calumet was absolutely on fire. Paul Sturgill's here with the run and extension. He's going to get that touchdown on his own. Sturgill, next time down, the kind of guy you want to be friends with as a toddler, Connor. Why?
Why?
Because he shares. He hands it off to Nelson Dryden, who says, "Thanks, Paul. I know where to go with this, and I'll take 6 in the end zone."
I have to talk to my brothers about sharing.
Now, don't worry. If you blanked, Connor, we'll show you that again. But next possession, Sturgill's to Dryden. This time, however, Dryden starts outside, then cuts up the B gap for a score, making it look easy. Nice guys, but they were bullying tonight, Connor. Sturgill's, again, this time rolling out in the pocket, finding Kip Kangas, who gets one-on-one and puts his defender on skates. I mean, that man might be wanted for committing a crime tonight, Connor. That wasn't right. Calumet, they dominated this one, cashing in again, handing it off to the big man, Alan Bjorn, for the score. Copper Kings looking dangerous. They win this one 42-0, their third win in a row. Big score here, some 8-man scores now as the Brimley Bays, they pick up their first win of the season out of a forfeit, but they do get that win. Now another game here, second score, the Lakes with a convincing 42-12 win over North Dickinson. Kind of, they're going to move to 3-2 on the season.
All right, and I'll take over these last couple ones as the Forest Park Trojans once again get another win, a 2-point victory over the Norway Knights, 30-28, and unfortunately we see another forfeit as the Ontonagon Gliders get that win via forfeit against the Carnegie Wolves. Well, Dave, how's it feel to be back?
I mean, it feels really good to be back and have that piece of cheese off my head. So no more, well, I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. There's probably going to be some more bad Lions bets coming for us, but, you know, we'll wait maybe till next week.
Well, I think you look fantastic. Let us know if you thought Dave looked good. Let me know if you agree with me.
Please don't.
And if you would make a bet with me to see how many more games the Lions would win or lose. Then again, there are game picks, but that's a whole other thing.
Maybe one more.
But we got plenty more scores and highlights when Friday Night with Frenzy churns after the break. Welcome back, everyone. And now, Dave, we were kind of talking before. I mean, we had the Copper Bowl this week, and last week was the Battle of Delta County between Escanaba and Gladstone. So what about rivalry games for you makes them a little bit extra special?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit more chippier, right? And you know people are talking. I mean, we're on the sidelines. We know these guys are talking. They're having a good time. But it's the history, and there's so much history and rivalries here in the UP. So it's just fun to be on the sidelines and be a part of it in some way.
All right, and I'm going to let you try to be your expert self right here. When you beat your rival, how much momentum do you think that carries into the next game? How big do you think it is kind of going forward if you beat that rival?
Okay, so I'm not a coach, so I won't say, momentum, it's on to the next. Momentum's big for these young kids. These are high schoolers. Momentum is big. So I think if you get that win, it's like Michigan State even in college, right? If you get that win, or over Ohio State, which never happens, but it can really change your season.
All right, well, let's see what happens, because now we have the Gladstone Braves looking to take momentum from beating Eski last week up against the #1 ranked Marquette Redmond. And opening drive for the Redmond. And Austin Rell was spraying the ball around as Nate Banger reaches behind him for the pass and a Marquette first down. And now this time it's going to be Owen Beauchamp picking the ball up off the ground to keep the drive alive. And now in the red zone. And Riddle takes the snap once again. And he's going to look, and he's going to find Double J, Justin Jermo, for the touchdown. PAT was no good, so it's 6-0 Redmond. And now the Braves on offense this time. And quarterback Nate Young, because Cam Kelly unfortunately broke his collarbone, so he's out for the season. So Nate Young takes the snap directly up the middle for a nice game before getting rat down. And now it's going to be Cole Potchke, the junior. He's going to hit his hole, and he's going to race up the sideline for a nice game, but it was an empty trip for the Braves. And now into the second quarter, same score. And Desmond Mullen takes the rock, he cuts one way, and then lowers the shoulder to get Marquette back into the red zone. And then after a few plays, A.O. always open, Owen Beauchamp reaching over the defender for the touchdown. And the Redmond continue their hot streak, bringing the Gladstone Braves 43-12.
Well, in conference battle now, the Ishpeming Hematites and the Nagani Miners. That's a bad man right there. I'm talking about number 10, Philip Nelson, but more on him in a little bit. First quarter, Nagani doing what they do, pounding the rock. There's Luukarainen with the carry. Good gain next play. Luukarainen somehow gets out of a sea of defenders, powers his way to the end zone. He just refused to be stopped. Miners up early, 7-0. Hematites trying to get some offense going, but they were shut down in the first half, and they only had 1 first down in the opening quarter. Wow. Miners were lethal, but when you shorten the field against yourself, you're going to pay for that sometimes. They muffed the punt here.
Punters are people too, everybody.
That's it. Nagani's going to take over in Hematite territory. Gerald Johnson takes over, and he hands it off to Easton Palamaki. We know that guy. Easton says, I got you, one and done. I'm taking it to the end zone.
Can I put him on my fantasy team?
There, he should be. Ishbeming turns it over on downs, and Mark Johnson there.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he says, hey, I'm going to take this over to Philip Nelson. He's been great all season long. Miners take this one 43-0. Here's some scores here. Pickford loses their first ball game of the season. They fall to 4-1 in a forfeit to the Cougars of Superior Central. Connor, no. Second score here, North Central Jets. They keep on cruising 72-0 as they try to challenge the basketball team in points, 5-0 on the year.
All right, and I'll take these last couple. The Newberry Indians get the win over the Rudyard Bulldogs 34-28, and the Ironwood Red Devils beat the Washburn, Wisconsin Castle Guards. Love that mascot. That's a new one here. 34-14. Well, Dave, glad that you're back, and we want to thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in to watch Friday Night Frenzy. Be sure to tune in next week, because we'll be right here, same place, same time, with more highlights and more scores. Everyone have a great evening, and have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for watching Friday Night Frenzy on ABC 10.
And follow us on Twitter at ABC10 UP Sports. And while you're at it, give me and Connor a follow as well.
And if you want to stay up to date on all the sports news of the Upper Peninsula, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on our Facebook page.